So again, just trying to show you this section of this layout, so it's showing the technical application of these drawings for the tables and all the graphics that is there, the flyout menus, everything that shows how this is placed together. Even the Allen wrench and the different tools for using and applying and assembling the table are shown in this illustration, and trying to get you aware of all those pieces and applications for the job section. So just kind of taking a look at the reference file that you have, just kind of getting a somewhat close look at this selection of images, and just kind of starting off again, trying to estimate the length, the width, and the height. Kind of sketched it out a little bit here so it has the perspective value going back and the angles going back. And as you go through it, it just has the rounded corners to this, so as you're sketching this out, you can round off these corners, seeing they're beveling this edge, just kind of lightly finding the distance of the lid, about a third of the distance up, and still just trying to adjust the part for the perspective there. And the back has a spot, obviously, for the tray, so when you think about it as a designer, the problem is that solution. What do you do with the trays when you're done? And they have this step right up at the top. So that's kind of a problem solved right there. A little bit of a bevel. And then the double-sided opening. So again, just kind of finding the distance for this piece. And if you drew through the transparent box of this section, doing the same on the other side. And again, just rounding off these corners for you. Makes it pretty good. So it kind of gives you the setup, just kind of the linear part. And from that point on, just a matter of heading up the drawing. And this part that's in the middle, just kind of indicating it, because that's going to be a little bit more for tone for this piece. Up. So just kind of finding the edges, making it pretty crisp. This one's going to be a little rounded off. Blending it there. Again, not necessarily using a template, but just building it up with the line quality. Finding those edges. And this is kind of taken right out inside of here. So you kind of have the overall shape of it, don't really have a shadow to it, but again, you can use your straight edge just to build this piece up, and the drawing with the lines going the same direction as the perspective is going to help. So it's one direction, and again, just using the vertical, pushing the straight edge, or just freely drawing it, and there's going to help. Top piece. This is about a third of the distance down. And again, this part that has the lip, there's actually a little gasket right around this edge. So you have that piece. This one, just using the side of the pencil, just get some of the value in there. Straight edge up to it. Makes it a little easier to have that stop. So you can see the values kind of pushing it from the part that's hidden. And anything up at the top there, these grooves, not only for some traction, but they're evenly spaced. And they're just a slight divot. Into there. There you have the edge right there. And as you're shading this again goes back to the exact basic shape. It's a light value, so the overall local tone is the light color of the plastic, so all the values are going to be on a high key, not to be confused with a haiku. That's close. And if you put the plastic line, I'm just going to throw that in there. And that's going to give you a little bit more change in the value. This is kind of an erratic type of shading, so it just has different facets of the plastic showing different corners and edges, and as it wraps around, so even though it's just a line there, you can still see the structure for it and build that up. Laying that section out there. And then even the gasket has a dark value, so just kind of emphasizing that and slightly shading inward. Builds that part up. It's gone really soft. And again, just coming around down at this edge, just kind of giving a little bit of a tone to turn that corner, which is kind of a rounded edge. And even this light tone still has a shape to it. And some of the reflections in it as well.